Hey, welcome back to my channel. I say that because everybody says that, but I've never really done anything on YouTube before, so this is a first for me. I saw the Beatles Vinyl 2026 tag and I thought, let's see if I can do it. So it's a few questions about your Beatles collection, mainly about your vinyl collection, your record collection. So let's see how I get on. The first question. Show and talk about your favourite Beatles acquisition of 2025. It can be a record, a collector's item, a Beatles product, etc. So I think the best thing has got to be Anthology 4. I've only got it on CD. This was a bit of a tricky one for me because I've got the Anthology 1, 2 and 3 on vinyl, and I've actually got it on CD as well. And when I knew it was coming out, I thought, well, I've got to get the vinyl as well. But yeah, the prices are very different to how they were in the 1990s, shall we say. So I thought I'll just get the CD, and it is absolutely fantastic. I mean, the string arrangement on Something Alone is worth the money. So if you haven't got it, check it out. Right, second question. Show an artist band on the Apple label other than the Beatles or solo Beatles. When possible, show the label. Be right back. It is Mary Hopkin, Those Were the Days. Question 3. Beatles lyrics. Show albums that have a song with lyrics which you particularly like and which make you cringe. Right, I've thought about it. There aren't any lyrics that make me cringe. There's songs that I don't really like so much. I mean, John Lennon didn't like Run For Your Life, but that's a bit of an obvious one. But I'm going to go with the lyrics that I really like, and you could have songs like Here, There and Everywhere on Revolver. You could have In My Life on Rubber Soul, but I'm going to go with my favourite album, Abbey Road, and you just need to listen to the B-side and lyrics like, and in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. So Abbey Road. Okay, right, let's have a look at the fourth question. Display a book or books you would recommend to other Beatles fans, up to 3. The first one is the Beatles anthology book, and this is actually the one that was released the first time around. I know they've recently reissued it, but this is like the Beatles Bible, isn't it, really? Everything they wanted you to know, all the photos, all the stories, everything that you need to know is in here, and it's first hand. And the other book is probably, it's not technically Beatles, well, it is Beatles, but John Lennon letters. I love letters, and reading this was just brilliant. I've had it a while now, and well, I had it when it came out, and it's all of John's, well, a lot of John's letters, and it's just so interesting to read them and, you know, get an insight into what sort of things you like to put into letters, really. Question 5. Anthology controversy. Did you buy the 2025 anthology box set in any form? Discuss your decision. Okay, well, I've already kind of said about that. I wanted to buy it as a vinyl, but it was really dear, and I'm so glad that Apple decided to release Anthology 4 on its own, because buying it as a box set again was absolutely ridiculous. So I've already got 1, 2 and 3. It wouldn't have made sense to buy it all again at the price they were originally selling at. So I've got it on CD, and at the moment I can't see myself buying it on vinyl. Question 6. Name a solo Beatles song that you would have liked to have seen get the full Beatles treatment. All full Beatles working together to build up the song. Show the album on which the song is featured. Okay, there are a few I could have chosen. It would have been fun if they could have done George's When We Was Fab. But I think I'm going to go with Woman. Can you imagine George and Paul doing the backing harmonies on Woman? I mean, there's outtakes from the studio of John saying that Woman sounded like girl, as he put it, and it sounded very Beatley and Smokey Robinson-esque. So I'm going to go with Woman because I think that would have been brilliant. And the other one that I thought would have been good was My Brave Face, but yeah, let's stick with Woman. I think I've seen somebody else suggest this and I was like, no, that's my answer, but Woman. If you have one, show a Beatles picture disc. Are you a fan of picture discs? Yay or nay? If you don't have a picture disc, coloured vinyl will work. I haven't got any Beatles picture discs, but as I became a fan of the Beatles in the anthology era, it was also a time when Paul was releasing Flaming Pie singles, and a lot of those were coming out on funky vinyl, shall we say. So I have actually got Beautiful Night picture disc, which I love. The World Tonight picture disc. Young Boy picture disc. And this is another one, Linda's Wide Prairie, and I think they're just so cool. But no, I haven't got any Beatles picture discs. For some reason, you were condemned to listen to just one Beatles compilation album for the rest of your days. What do you choose? Show the compilation. It's either going to be red or blue, but I think it will be this. And do you know what? This is a really good exercise for me to do because I forget half of the vinyl records that I've got. So it's good for me to check out what I've got again. So I thought I had, and I definitely have got one on vinyl. Do you feel there is an underrated Beatles song? If so, show the album on which it appears and explain why. Okay, this was a hard one. I really like The Night Before off Help, and I think that deserves more recognition just because it's a great song. But I think I'm going to go with You Won't See Me. It makes me think of going to my first Beatles week in Liverpool, and a Brazilian band called Sergeant Pepper were playing it, and it was in Matthew Street, and the sun came out, and just the backing harmonies were just pure Beatles, and I think it's one of those songs that really sums up the sound of the Beatles. Having said that, I will always love And Your Bird Can Sing off Revolver because it's just epic, and I think everybody needs to hear it. But if we're talking about underrated Beatles things, I don't understand, maybe it's a Gen Z thing or something, but what is with all the dissing of Beatles for Sale? Why does everybody moan about Beatles for Sale? I think it's, as Paul would say, a fine little album, and I think more people should make sure they listen to this as well. I mean, Babies in Black, No Reply, I'll follow the Sun, Kansas City, 8 Days a Week. Come on. Beatles singles. Show a Beatles 45 with a cool picture sleeve or sleeve from a country other than the one where you reside. I've just found this, the Beatles movie medley, and it's got Magical Mystery Tour, All You Need Is Love, You've Got to Hide Your Love Away, I Should Have Known Better, Hard Day's Night, Ticket to Ride and Get Back, and I'm Happy Just to Dance With You. Which is quite a good cover. Bonus question. Do you have any Beatles EPs? If so, show one or two of them. Okay, I might have more, but these are the ones that I could get my hands on in the box. So I've got Twist and Shout, Beatles Hits, which always makes me think of an episode of Goodnight Sweetheart, because Gary gave Ron a copy, I think. The Beatles, #1. All My Loving. I've got more than I remember actually. Hard Day's Night, I don't remember getting that. It shows how often I get the records out. Beatles for Sale. And Long Tall Sally. This is a special one. It wasn't the actual copy, but my uncle sold a copy of this for probably a few pence at a car boot sale we were doing, and I didn't even realise until he'd sold it, and I was like, no! And the Beatles Million Sellers. As I say, I started collecting in the mid to late 90s, so I've got quite a collection, but I don't play my records every day. I'm used to CDs or using YouTube or Alexa. But it's just nice to have the actual records, because I think that's a shame that these days you don't get physical copies of music these days.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
I knew that had happened. But yeah, it's nice to have actual physical copies of music, especially if they're over 60 years old.